Alright guys, let me grab my cup of coffee here real quick. We're going to start talking a little bit about building your presence online here in this second series. I'll tell you what, I was actually listening to a webinar the other night from a gentleman who was a JV partner with one of those online marketing gurus, Mike Filsaime. And he was talking about the software that he builds that builds his presence online, like 40 different ones, and they're all blogs, and people start driving traffic, and he even shows one, right, that he has the #1 position in Google. And I sat there, and he didn't show some part of his screen over here that I really needed to see, so I went and looked, and I started Googling, and I was like, I know what he did. He was actually logged into an account online so that, because of his IP address and his website and the email and everything else that's linked with it, it will show up #1. Do that for yourself. It happens every time. Talk about a cheap, cheesy trick. Building a presence online. First off, you've got several choices out here. You can go with cheap, cheesy, formulas like that, or you can sit there and actually create something that attracts people. Something that once it attracts them, they want to stay there, they want to learn more. And the thing is that's the hard part. It really is. That's the hard part. At least in your mind is the hard part. I found out that it was actually the easy part. It was just being fun. It was just being, personalizing that presence online through my content, the way that my websites look. It doesn't take a lot to learn how to do this stuff. When I first started learning here, I got into a system. I learned some of the basic fundamentals. After that, I started asking more questions. I couldn't find the answers in there. I went and found the answers somewhere else, and I started applying those answers, and that's what it took. That was it. I didn't have to go out here and start spinning wheels with all these different gurus and start spending all this money. Sorry, you hit 41 years old, and I'll tell you what, things started happening. But basically that's what I did. I just sat there and I started asking the right questions, started applying the right answers, and that presence started building up online. Now, within the first year, I made some money. I made pretty good money. As a matter of fact, I quit my career in insurance. And the thing is that there's plenty of people that I've helped out today that have done the same thing, quit their careers, quit their jobs, they're just working from the comfort of their home. It's very, very simple here. But building your presence, you've got some platforms that you can choose from. There's Blogger, there's Joomla, WordPress. I use WordPress. Why? Because WordPress is actually probably the most friendly of the platforms to really get used to. It's very, very simple. It's very, very easy. And the thing is Google loves it, Bing loves it, Yahoo loves it somewhat, but Google loves it. And Google, I'll tell you what, most people sit there and go, Google, Google, Google. All these little Google slaps you hear of, people losing their websites and everything else, that was their fault. If you're creating good content, you got a good website, you learn some basic fundamentals of SEO and how to create good content. Guys, those aren't slaps, those are handshakes, and that's just the way it is. So we get out here and we learn how to use things like WordPress to sit there and build and brand and manage ourselves online. And I'm not talking about outsourcing your freaking content creation to the Philippines for $2 a pop. I'm talking about sitting down and actually doing it yourself. Yes, it's going to take a little time. Yes, it's going to take some patience from you. And yes, it's going to take some time to learn and apply. But what else do you expect? There's no freaking overnight success here. It's extremely rare. My success was 110 days long. Some of the people I've taught and mentored and coached and trained and consulted, it took them 6 months to a year to sit there and totally succeed. Some of them, it was like me. It just it happened faster. But they applied. And the thing is none of us really spent more than 2, 3, 4 hours a week working on our stuff. That was it. It wasn't more than that. You should be able to get in here, create that presence online. And when you're creating that presence online, there's just a few things that you really, really need here. First off, you're going to need the blog or website. Basically, these two things are the same anymore, okay? WordPress is not just a blogging platform. It's an actual business platform. It's a presence online. The next thing you know is making sure that your social profiles are all put together. And this is going to include things like Pinterest, Google+, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Those are the only 5 that I actually use. I use Dribbble, and I got some bookmarking sites out there like delicious and dig and stumble upon, but I don't use them too much. I use my major social media profiles, but what else is in social media? What else is one of the largest platforms for information consumption online? Video. That's right. You look at them, I look at them. That's just how it is. Video should be that. You should have YouTube and Daily Motion and maybe find a feeder system like Media. And then go in there and maybe get one more like Keek or something like that. Just something where you can put short little stints of videos up for the fun of it that has to do with and is connected to this and this. Pretty simple, guys, when building a presence online. After that, all you're going to be doing is building a base of content. And the content is written content, images, videos, every little thing counts. Anchor text, text link, hyperlink. These things all count for this. It all counts. And the thing is that this content is going to build this and this. That's what's going to happen. But it's just a regular flow of content. 1 or 2 pieces a week. How hard is it to sit down for an hour, make a video, write 500 words, put it in an image, get some links on there, and walk away? If you don't know what you're doing here, it's going to take you about an hour and a half. If you know what you're doing here, it's going to take you about 45 minutes to an hour. Tops. So why not just do that? Quit looking at tomorrow and look at 3 months from now. Look at 120 days from now. Don't look at the day after tomorrow. Look at the day after tomorrow as, hey, I'm going to publish a piece of content. Building a presence online is the only way that you are going to generate any sort of blogging income. You've got to have that blog, and you've got to have all these little tiny things that go along with it. And then you've got to build upon that with content. That is the base of everything. That's the base of everything, because that's what people are doing. They're searching answers, and you've got to be that answer then. That's pretty simple. Pretty simple. And you can do it. Takes a little time, takes a little patience, takes a little time learning and applying, but you can get there. Anyways, thank you guys very much no matter what. God bless.